being very welcoming or just making them an offer they couldn't refuse. Yeah, because they were going to sit there looking at me. My wife didn't look panicked, so I assume it was a very welcoming gesture. Didn't think it was poking with a sharp stick or anything. You know, this might seem like an odd example for today, but according to businesses, Valentine's Day is the third biggest day of the year for buying gifts. Christmas, of course, is the first. Mother's Day will be second. When it comes to candy, flowers, and cards, Valentine's Day moves to second, right behind Christmas. I thought that was a little odd. Candy and flowers go more on Christmas. Now, I don't want to put you guys under any pressure, but 70% of folks buy their sweethearts a Valentine's Day present. You got plenty of notice now. The price of the gift will average over $140. Yeah, that side confirms my independent research, which says that if it worked for the men in this room, that average would be a lot higher. Now, of course, wise men know that buying the right gift can be just as important as the amount of money spent. Flowers, candy, jewelry. Ladies, you like to get those on Valentine's Day, don't you? On the other hand, vacuum cleaner, diet book, a new tractor, not so much. I'm sure you heard about the gal who was really hoping to get a brand new Ferrari sports car. I'm assuming they were wealthy. Wasn't my wife, I'll tell you that. When her husband asked what she wanted for Valentine's Day, she said, I want something that goes from 0 to 200 in 15 seconds. He bought her a shiny new bathroom scale. The funeral was Tuesday. Well, all kidding aside, today's text is a Valentine's story of sorts, but it's not married love. It's not about married love or romantic love of any sort, though some have tried to read that into this text, and that's not accurate. The story poses the question that faces every believer, though. When it comes to our love for Christ, how much is enough? How much is sufficient? Maybe, but how much is too much? Can it ever be too much? Well, I want to put this idea in your mind first. The idea of worship versus waste. Worship versus waste. And it's funny that some people will look at the same act and some will see great worship where others see great waste. You turn with me to Mark 14. Start here, and you also, just for reference, we'll look at John 12 and Matthew 26 as well. It's the same story with a couple other details in both, but we're mainly going to be sticking with Mark 14, verses 1 through 9. Now, Mark 14, 1 through 9, find, now the Passover and unleavened bread was 2 days off, and the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to seize him, Jesus, to seize him by stealth and kill him. For they were saying, not during the festival, lest there be a riot of the people. And while he was in Bethany at the home of Simon the leper, and reclining at the table, there came a woman with an alabaster vial, a very costly perfume of pure nard, and she broke the vial and poured it over his head. But some were indignantly remarking to one another, why has this perfume been wasted? For this perfume might have been sold for over 300 denarii, and the money given to the poor. And they were scolding her. But Jesus said, let her alone. Why do you bother her? She has done a good deed to me. For the poor you always have with you. And whatever you wish, you can do them good. You do not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for the burial. And truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is preached in the whole world, that also, which this woman has done, shall be spoken in memory of her. And I think it's interesting that our Sunday school lesson this morning, I didn't know that ahead of time, Sunday school lesson this morning centered around the role of women in church, the role of women in ministry, whether they should keep silent or not. And I want you to notice, first of all, that this beautiful lady does beautiful ministry without saying a word. She ministers directly to Jesus' heart without saying a word. There's nothing wasteful about that, is there? It's a wonderful act. Jesus, while he is enjoying being encouraged, comforted by this sincere and honest act by one who just loves him. Immediately, you can just hear the frustration in his voice when some of those begin to rebuke her. And I don't picture Jesus saying, now, but you need to understand, just leave her alone. You don't get it. I almost picture him sitting there and taking his cup and slamming it down on the table, saying, leave that woman alone. You do not understand what she's doing for me. You don't get it. Some of you never get it. How many times I tell you over and over and over, you're not going to have me forever to hold your hand and guide you through every little spiritual step. Wake up. Grow up. Listen. Listen to this one who is preaching a better sermon than any of you ever had. And she hasn't said a word. You know, did you ever consider while you're out at a romantic dinner with your spouse that there are probably at least a few couples within a mile of that restaurant where you're at? I'll stay closer to this. Did you ever consider that close by that restaurant where you're enjoying a wonderful and relaxing meal with your spouse, that nearby there are probably at least a couple, at least a few couples within a mile or so that are screaming at each other in anger as their marriages fall apart? Do you realize when we sit here and worship, there are not just lost people outside the doors, but more than a few who are downright hostile towards the gospel? You see, wherever there is great love and great worship, there is also great conflict right beside it. Always. And we saw at the beginning of this passage, didn't we? We saw the Pharisees plotting in the first few verses how they might kill him, leading right into an act of great love and great worship. You see, the work of the enemy is always nearby. In this case, read about the enemy, the Pharisees plotting just down the street. And even in Jesus' inner circle, as Satan tries to pollute the minds of those who claim to know and love Christ best. It happens in the church today, doesn't it? Where there ought to be expressions of unrestrained love, we still find gossip and bitterness and envy and strife and discord, where there ought to be only the work of the kingdom. And it must grieve Jesus' heart, I think, when he sees such things take place among those whom he loves. Now, when cross-reference in John 12 and also in Matthew 26, and you can take a look at those yourself if you want. We find that in Matthew's passage in particular, or in John's passage in particular, we find that this woman is actually identified, and it seems to be none other than Mary, the sister of Lazarus, and Martha, who is the one who performed this act for him. One who has known Jesus to do great things in her family, who has given her purpose. You know, she's only mentioned 3 times in the gospel, and each time she's found at Jesus' feet. She sat at his feet and listened to the word. Remember that story where Martha got so aggravated with her? Lord, tell my sister to get up and help me with dinner. She came to his feet in sorrow after the death of Lazarus in John 11. Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not be dead. Not so much a statement of sorrow, but a statement of great faith in what she knew he could do. And then she worshipped at his feet when she anointed him. This is a deeply spiritual lady, isn't it? We find that she gave very lavishly. You know, this ointment that she gave, this vial of pure nard, as they refer to it. Studies have shown that this was probably equivalent of about an average year's wages for the average laborer. So it was very valuable. It was probably a treasured family heirloom. And the fact that they had not used this in the burial of Lazarus shows just how valuable this must have been, that it was not used to anoint the dear brother who was departed. Or it might have shown Mary's restraint and her faith in saying, no, there's no reason to waste it. He's not really dead. We know that she gave fully. You see, there's no uncorking and pouring out a little and saving some for herself, is there? That'll stick you right in the heart, won't it? Let me give a little here. I'll pour out a bit for Christ, and then there's still plenty left over for me. No. What's it say? She broke the vial. There's no turning back. There's no possibility of half measures. She had heard Jesus' words. She knew that he would be broken and poured out fully for her sin. See, she'd been around during a lot of those teachings, during a lot of what Jesus had to say about how the Son of Man would suffer much. And unlike some of his disciples, she actually took him at his word, I think. She knew that he would be pulled out for a debt to hell that she had incurred. See, this was no time for half measures. And I would submit to you that neither is now. What you have to offer, though it may not seem like much, break it open and pour out all of it. Throw caution to the wind. Christ did not go halfway to Calvary and then stop and turn around, because you and I and Mary and all of humanity are not sentenced halfway to eternal death, are we? We also know that she gave her glory. You know, in John's account, we read how she actually began to use her hair, unbound her hair, and wiped up, rubbed the perfume in her hair. You see, a woman's hair, 1 Corinthians 11:15 tells us, is her glory. Now, this would have scandalized the assembled crowd. And I'm sure Martha almost had a heart attack. Good soul that she was, Martha's probably standing over in the corner going, we would never find a man for that girl now. You see, a woman's hair unbound in such a way with any but her husband at that time simply was not done. You didn't do such a thing. But she surrendered her glory to the Lord and worshipped him with that which was most precious she had to bring. It was an act of love and devotion that brought fragrance to the whole house. You know, there was